Okay, I think it's live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the first edition of Speednarios. Also, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm just going to make sure it's. Oh no, doesn't work. Okay, I think it's live. Oh, so it's working. Um, okay, let's start. If you have a suggestion in the chat, what scenario I should start with, uh, I'll, I'll go with that. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. Suggest things in the chat, and I'll make sure to do them. Live. Oh, so it's working. Um, okay, so I see we have some people watching here. So if you have any scenarios you want me to cover, make sure to type them in the chat. I'll wait about 2 minutes, and if no one writes anything, I'll start doing uh, is one of the scenarios I planned. Hmm. In the meanwhile, I'll go and do a post that I'm streaming. Oh, okay. Thank you. But could you suggest any scenario for me to do? Oh, I see more people are joining the stream. So, what scenario should I do? I guess it's a bit since I started, so I guess I'll start doing one of my own scenarios. So first off, maybe I'll prepare. You get the map for the period, right? Okay, so 6 people are currently here. Mm. Sorry to keep you all waiting. So maybe I'll start with a simple World War One scenario. Okay, the map is nearly finished. Oh, oh, people are starting to write. Okay. Uh, Adnan. Yes, this is the World War One map. I'm going to do a simple scenario. What if what one revolving around what World War One? Hi, DZ Maps. Okay, so let's start. Uh, and hi, Jacek Musiałkiewicz. So, mm, s- so, st st so let's go with the simple scenario. What if Germany won World War One? So the war would still start the same between Austria and Serbia, following that Germany, Russia, and would join the war, and Germany would declare war on France, and then go through Belgium, which would drag Britain into the war. Which would drag Britain into war. Is similarly as in our timeline, Germany would quickly overwhelm both Luxembourg and Belgium and get close to Paris. Meanwhile, in the west, Russia would face some early successes in the war, but later on get pushed back by the Germans. As the Serbian front would also remain the same, with Austria struggling there until Bulgaria later on joins the war and overwhelms both Serbia and Serbia, Montenegro, and occupies Albania because of the fleeing Serbian and Montenegrin troops. Same goes with the Ottoman Empire. They will likely also join the war, which will result in some problems for the British. Some problems for the British and the Russians, who would quickly start offensives into both the Caucasus and the Middle East. Going further into the war, the Western Front would mostly stabilize after the German near takeover of Paris. Meanwhile, in the east, Germany would take large swathes of Latvia and Lithuania and all of Poland. In order for Germany to win the war, I'll go with quite a simple scenario for this first one, where Germany forces Austria, which was by that point basically a German puppet, to cede Italy, cede Italy some border territories, which would result in them joining on the German side. This would eliminate another front in the war, and although it might not cause the end of the war immediately, it would definitely cause a greater German push in the west, which would lead to France nearly falling. Russia would likely launch an offensive in order to save France from falling, which could have some early successes, just like the offensives in our timeline around this time. But with this situation, it is possible Romania might no longer want to join the Entente, which would lead Russia to get pushed back eventually, uh, and first off, France is being forced to lose, and then eventually, as the revolution starts, Russia. And with that, Britain would be forced to sign a negotiated peace. In the aftermath of the war, Italy will probably regain Nice and Savoy as well as Corsica. Germany would expand slightly, taking regions like Luxembourg, Luxembourg, more French land, mostly those that are rich in resources like coal and iron. Make Belgium into a puppet state, although it wouldn't really expand, since due to British pressure, and Russia will lose a lot of land to various puppet states like Poland, a Baltic puppet regime, Belarus, and Ukraine. The Ottomans would also gain some lands in the Caucasus. Uh, oh, I accidentally made Britain red. Sorry about that. That was just an error. So as goes for I'll quickly tackle the aftermath of the war. So the Ottomans could either become a great power uh, fall, one of the two. It is quite likely that by that point it was too late to quell the Arab revolt in the Middle East. So it's possible that states like Hijaz and Najd might take take some lands in the region. Uh, oh yeah, sorry. Again, I made another mistake. True, the oil in Baku might help the Ottomans, although it won't be as much as the rest of the oil they have. Oh, and hi Agnieszka Musiałkiewicz and Stary Ojciec. Welcome to the stream. So my software seems to not be working, but so I'll close it quickly and hopefully I can restore the file as soon as I reactivate it. Ouch. Okay, so it seems like it didn't. Oh, never mind, it did. So getting back to uh, what uh, what what we were talking about previously, so the Ottomans would likely oh, changing the color. So the Ottomans would likely lose some regions like Najd and Hejaz, since by that point it was too likely too late, and the Ottoman state was too weak after the war to take them back. But it's possible that the rest of they will be able to maintain most of the other regions. Uh, as as Hamad Hamad Adman pointed out, the oil fields in Baku definitely would help, along with Iraqi and Syrian oil field, Iraqi and Syrian oil fields. Is, but it's still possible that the empire will fall due to internal pressures such whether it be Arab revolts or the added new minorities such as the Armenians and Georgians, or due to something in the internal government structure. As goes for Austria, the state might be able to reform under Emperor Charles's rule, but it will probably fall if it isn't managed correctly. Considering Germany will might still consider backing them with Austria becoming even. But it's also possible that Germany would continue backing them, with Austria becoming ever closer, ever more closely linked to Germany. Also, Bulgaria would gain Macedonia and much of eastern Serbia. Meanwhile, Serbia, Albania, and Serbia, Albania, and uh, and Montenegro become Austrian puppet states. In the future, it's still possible that Italy still goes on ultranationalist, since it's possible that most of the economic factors that cause them to turn to matches in our timeline might still be at play. Britain will likely keep to themselves, become more isolated from European politics and start going for the Imperial Federation plan. France could also turn communist or some other ideology along with Russia, unless Britain and Germany uh, both intervene to prevent France from becoming communist. Since unlike Russia, I think France would be too close for both of the too close and too much of a threat for both of them to allow it. And I think that's more or less it. Oh, mm, oh yeah, I forgot to discuss sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot to discuss Africa. Thanks for pointing it. Thanks for pointing it out again, Hamad Addan. Is yeah, Germany would definitely seize French Indochina, as well as the Congo from Belgium. The Congo from Belgium, the Republic of Congo from France, Modern Day Gabon from France, Central Africa, along with Cameroon, and maybe even Angola if Portugal joins the war ultimately. Although that's not exactly. Although that's not too. Although I'm not sure about if that would actually happen. So they'll finally form their Africa plan. They would also likely see some other minor colonies like Togo, like Togo as well as Adam Adman pointed it out in Indochina. Italy would also seize Tunisia. Italy would also seize Tunisia. And I think that's it for this scenario. Uh, okay, so what is it here in the chat? Okay, so in the chat. Okay, so uh, DC maps. I'm currently working on making a Discord server. I think I'll be able to. I think I will release it in my community tab sometime next week. Uh, and again, I agree. Tunisia will become Italian after such a victory. So now on to some other scenario. Also, sorry if I'm sort of botching up my lines or stuttering too much. This is the first time I'm actually streaming, so sorry for being sort of unprepared and whatnot. In the meanwhile, make sure to write us a scenario in the chat if you have any ideas of what scenario I should do. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start preparing another map. I'll see if maybe after refreshing something will come up. Oh, good idea. So I'll have to get... If, first of all, I'll have to get the World War I map, or at least around the period of World War I, set up. So right now I'm going to do what if the Fashoda Incident caused Britain and France to go to war. So thanks for suggesting it, Hada, Hamad Ad, Hamad Adnan. But first I'll prepare the map quickly. So I'll quickly change the map to the one from I'm pretty sure it was 1905. No, it was 1890. Wait, I'm actually going to check quickly. Fashoda. Yeah, 1898. borders were something more or less like this. So I think that's more or less it. I'll keep the rest of the world more or less the same, since I'll mostly focus on Europe and Africa for this one. Okay, so Central Asia, so good, so good. And so yeah, okay. And quickly, I'll uh, s- oh, and if and also should I post anything in the should I also play songs and while I'm doing the maps write yes or no in the chat. Since this one's more focused on Africa, I'll actually it. Oh, okay. Since this one's more focused on Africa, I think I'll focus more on making the actual borders of Africa right. Okay, so it seems like we have a split decision. Let's go for the songs. I'll wait till maybe till for maybe actually I'll start a poll. So these were more or less the borders. Okay, but as goes for the song, I'll only put it on the next map since by this point this one's already finished. But before we get into the scenario, I need to check a few things. Okay. So let's get into the scenarios. So in this first one, okay. So let's get into scenario. So in this timeline, color. Everything after the Congress of Berlin will happen more or less the same. The colonies will remain just like in our timeline. Britain still forces Portugal to reject the pink map. Belgium against the Congo. Germany against its colonies. France gets West African territories. So I'll quickly provide a bit of context for those who don't know. The Fashoda Incident was a conflict between Britain and France, since France wanted to connect its colonies from east to west Africa. Meanwhile, Britain wanted no. To connect its colonies north to south. Ultimately, that wasn't successful until the end of the World War One because Germany took Tanzania, but still, Sudan was an important British goal. So there were two armies in the territory, one French one and one British one. So in this timeline, we'll get one bigger skirmish to erupt, which would result in the war. Since British armies at the time were much larger than since British armies at the time were much larger than French ones, I'm pretty sure Britain would win and quickly push them out of Sudan. Wait a second, I'll just. So this will blow over into a full-on European war between two of the great powers. Russia will likely be too far away from both to intervene. So starting off the war, Britain would likely be on the advantage, possibly continuing with various offensives further into French territory. It, although in the south they would likely progress a bit faster, despite. Uh, but they wouldn't be as fast maybe as expected, since in the north the terrain would be the desert, while in the south savanna. So, wait, I'll quickly add the other. But as goes for the other British colonies, some would likely be on the defensive against France. Is is but overall Britain would likely quickly start pushing against France and take most of their western colonies. Meanwhile, France takes portion of Britain's eastern colonies. By this point, it's possible that the war would end with some sort of treaty in order to not turn it into a full-on European war. But I'll go with a scenario where uh, oh yes, had a madman. Britain does have a better name. That's true. And speaking of a better navy, a better the superior British navy would likely result in some French forces being unable to go to Africa, with possibly some having to go all the way from Algeria onto the front. But still likely eventually it's likely that such colonies like Gambia would eventually fall. And if enough reinforcements aren't sent, Sierra Leone would as well. Now let's take the front over to. Now I'll quickly still change the maps in Southeast Asia to reflect the colonial situation. Is so it's also possible that by this point fighting would also start in Southeast Asia on the border between the between French induced China and the British Raj. Sorry about that. Anyways, although the front would likely not progress too greatly with Britain taking only parts of northern Laos. Eventually, Britain would start launching various naval invasions. Maybe, for instance, one in Sierra Leone, taking much of the west, as well as their overall land front continuing further on. Taking all of northern Cameroon probably by this point, and probably the Nigerian front would also turn to the British advantage, resulting in major French losses in the colonies. Somewhere around this point or a bit before, it's possible that that other countries could also get involved. I I think it might be possible, though I'm not exactly sure that Italy, after their recent loss against Ethiopia, might quickly go to war with the Ottomans to take Libya in order improve their international prestige, as well as capitalizing that Britain and France can intervene to the war. As goes for Germany, Germany would probably uh, sooner or later, it's quite likely that if this war continues to accelerate, Germany would intervene and start invading France. Wait, uh, I'll quickly check if my headset's on, right? Sorry, I accidentally had my mic in the wrong direction. Thanks for pointing it out, Smudgy Coasters. Is I'll quickly check something. So by this point, the Schlieffen plan wasn't yet developed, but it's still possible that that Germany might choose to go through Belgium, but and considering Britain's in the war, I actually don't think it's entirely impossible of Belgium allowing Germany military access and invading through France. In which case, France would be shocked and would out and quickly get overwhelmed. Uh, and even if Russia joins quickly to try and fight Germany, uh, by the time they actually get mobilized, France would probably have fallen, and Russia would start losing territory as well. Now, now I'm so sorry. Now in this part, I'm kind of stumped since by this point I'm not exactly sure which way the scenario would go. It's even possible that Britain actually chooses to quickly negotiate with France as soon as Germany declares war, seeing them as a greater threat, or as France quickly falls and Russia's in the conflict, Britain chooses to change. Britain chooses to change sides and join against Germany. Is so I guess uh, I'll try covering a scenario with the following events happening. maybe instead of Germany invading, so Germany isn't able to invade Belgium. Sorry. is so Germany isn't able to invade. Uh, so Germany is doesn't get military access from Belgium, resulting in Germany once and again invading through Belgium, resulting in their troops getting decently bogged out for some time. But the invasion still goes quite quickly. But at this point, I think it's possible that Brit Britain would have quite a decent advantage. Negotiate to gain several different colonies from France in various regions. This is just an example of what they might take. I'm not exactly sure of anything of this happening actually. So following this, Russia would also quickly join the war, but by this point Germany would continue focusing on France. It's possible that that France, being already ready for war, might be able to face the German troops better, or because of the forces in Africa, they face it worse. So I'm not really sure. Is so the situation would probably remain more or less like our timeline, and Germany would but a major difference to our timeline would be Russia, which by this point hasn't really wouldn't likely mobilize as quickly yet. Wait a second. Yes, so that would likely result in Germany quickly taking more lands than in our timeline, especially with Austria likely joining them soon after. Oh, sorry. The Ottomans might consider staying neutral, especially if Italy, uh, especially if Italy actually invades them, resulting in them losing uh, especially if Italy invades them, which as I stated would likely still result uh, in them losing Libya. Although I'm not sure if if Balkan powers would still intervene by this point. But if they do, that would likely keep them all. It would prevent all of them from joining the conflict. So, so in this scenario, it's likely that France would eventually just get overwhelmed, and uh, Russia would likely eventually get overwhelmed by the Germans, especially since by this point Russia would be likely in an even weaker position than in our timeline. So they would likely quickly lose more land and be forced out of the war, and without Russia, German troops might flood into the west and uh, defeat France. In which case, it's possible that a similar timeline happens as in the previous scenario we discussed, where Germany gains all of Middle Africa. Gains, just like in our timeline, the territories of Middle Africa, but Britain remains with its more ex excess territories, and Russia and France possibly could have these different peace treaties, but they may, maybe since Russia was defeated faster, it could result in less intense peace, in a less harsh peace treaty, maybe with only Poland, the Baltics, and as well as uh, Belarus, Moldova, and only the western lands of Belarus and Ukraine, along with Moldova, going to the Germans. Uh, going for, and I don't really know how to go forward in this scenario, but mm, by this point, by this point, it's too early for both likely to turn communist, but likely the faction would take any opportunity they can to, when Germany is weak, to attack it. Britain would get could either get more involved or less involved in the European scene, just like I discussed in the previous scenario. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Russia would be less industrialized by this point. Um, so I guess that's more or less it for this scenario, since I don't know where to take it from here. Sorry for making it a bit chaotic. So should I do as first scenario now? Because I think soon I'll be ending the stream. Okay, I guess I could end this pool and maybe... Maybe I'll do one more scenario. So, if anyone has any suggestions in the chat what scenario I should do next, make sure to write them. Maybe I'll start working on a new map. Oh, wrong one. So let's see if anyone has written anything. Oh, nothing. Hmm. Oh, it seems people are hopping off by this point. Nothing. So maybe actually I'll end the stream by this point. So sorry for making it a bit sorry for stuttering so much and all the technical problems that were in it. I'll try my best to be more prepared and confident for the next streams. And thank you to everyone who participated in this stream. Jacek Musiałkiewicz, Hamad Adtan, Dizzy Maps, Agnieszka Musiałkiewicz, Stary Ojciec, Smack These Coaster, and Smack These Coasters. Thank you all for participating in the stream and writing the chat. And thank you, Hamadaden, for suggesting a scenario. Okay, so thank you for watching the stream and goodbye.